Scotland as a nation proudly stand. We will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street, are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. To the world we bid a welcome in 1,000 different ways. We will toast to long lost friendships as we build our better days. In the glens and cities, there on every street, are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum. We are all the heroes of Scotland. We're a nation hand in hand. We will march beneath her banners to protect our ancient land. In the glens and cities, there on every street, are the living heroes no army will defeat. Let our flag mean freedom and not a battle drum.
Good evening, folks. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had a good weekend. Weather broke up here, of course, being the weekend. Picked up a bit this morning, but nothing great. A good piece of information there, Budgie, from you. All black people in the race, but it was, apart from one, white. And that was the person who won. Interesting. Good evening, Robert. It's something I've never really taken much of an interest in, to be honest with you folks, is the Olympics. As I said last week, I enjoy watching people running races, jumping and all that, but the enormous time between each event just breaks my patience, so I don't watch it. Good evening, Treble M. You notice I've done away with the old beard again. bounce back and forth between I think I suit it, and then I say I don't think I suit it. But in balance or on balance, I've got to the point when I don't think I suit it. So most of the time when it's growing, it's simply because for one reason or another, I haven't shaved. But as anyone who knows me any length of time would tell you, I've never been keen on shaving anyway. And I was never very good at it. What do you think? So you suit it, okay? You see, there are times when I really do enjoy wet shaving, no doubt about it. On special occasions, it was part of being or getting myself dressed up to go out somewhere special. The wet shave would be part of that ritual, and I would enjoy that. But on a sort of ordinary level, every other day level, I can't be bothered. Well, this is what my Laura would say. It makes you. She would say that when I had a beard, it made me look older. And that's true, but I think that's true of most men. It makes them look older. But here's something about this business of shaving and not shaving. I used to wonder about this. Why is it? Good evening, Steve. Lovely to see you, of course, as always. So I used to always wonder about it, especially before photography came along. You go to a portrait gallery. Uh, the men are all bearded, or at very least a moustache, but usually full beard, goatee, beard. And I used to wonder about that. But yeah, I hate men who have half a beard. Shave it or don't. Half a beard is too much work. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've had the goatee as well. Good evening, Ether. Ether. So I always wondered about it. And somewhere along the line, and I'm not quite sure where, I came across this information about why this was so. Oh, there's my duck. How you doing? Hope you're okay, duck. And the information I picked up, now I don't know if I can see a truth behind it. I can see a logic behind the explanation. But I'd rather I had a secondary source saying the same thing. So what this primary source said was the reason men grew beards was to show to the world at large that they were not homosexuals. And back in the day, those days, it was seen as a man who didn't who shaved was seen as somewhat suspect. I can see why this may have been a prevailing attitude when I consider that up till fairly recently, the last couple of 100 years, on the stage, it was men who played women, and generally speaking, it was homosexual men who played women. And of course, they would be clean shaven. So if I use that as a secondary source, so to speak, it, strictly speaking, isn't. I can see that being a prevailing attitude. That's why men grew beards. It was it is a sign of masculinity. Oh, there's that old red herring. What is a woman? XY chromosome, or is it XX chromosome? Treble. Well, I'm one. So there you go, folks. Clean shaven again. Way, Julia, a woman is a stronger man. Streaky. I prefer chicks with triple X chromosomes. Aye, aye. So I was out over the weekend. I did make it to Wales, of course. I thought better of it, and I'm glad I thought better of it. So what a pair. That's what it'd be called. Fight of the century. What a pair. Who would win a fight between David Lammy, asked Tom, and Ed Balls? Well, I guess it would come down to who's got the biggest handbag, eh? So yesterday, being Monday, I took my son, my sister, and my adopted daughter, and uh, and we went for a sail down the River Clyde on the paddle steamer. The Waverley. Lorraine had a really bad time of it. You know, of course, that she suffers from MS. So right after the funeral was over, she took a relapse. And she's fighting back, of course. She's getting through it. So, thanks for asking, though. Appreciate that. And I'll pass on your regards to her. But it's going to take a long time, as you all know. I don't have to try and explain something that you already understand. I will pass on your regards, Doc. But with so much of the stress removed due to the fact that our mum is now dead and the funeral is over, it'll give her mind, her brain rather, an opportunity to start mending itself. And that's what's happening. Yesterday, she didn't look half as bad as she had looked on the day of the funeral, for example, as you would expect. Streaky Bacon is saying, Paddles steamer on the Clyde sounds great, John. The Waverley used to sail from South Wales to the Devon coastline in the 80s. Really? Didn't know that. The other thing about Lorraine is if she is determined, just like her mum, and therefore she will not lie down to it. It doesn't help, of course, that the elephant's right here. She gets her vitamin B. There's a girl across the street from her. I kid you not, literally just across the street. If you look out, haven't get used to it yet, Lorraine's front window. She's the other side of the pavement. And she's got MS. Only this girl has got the worst kind, the kind that there is no relief from. It's just a straight line graph down. And so she sees this girl from time to time, progressively getting worse. That doesn't help. But what can you do? But she's determined. Lorraine. She certainly won't give in to it, that's for sure. I'd rather not be in a foxhole with anyone, Tom. Never mind David Lammy. Oh, that's an image, that is. When the powers be wants them to end, that's when they'll end. Absolutely, Doc. It does. It does indeed. Lorraine lives in a council house that was built in the 1950s. So it's brick built. It's not a superior built house, but it's a brick built house. And now, with her mum going, she's beginning to dispose of her mum's things, and eventually the plan is to have the house redecorated, and all of that will help. The excursion on Monday was part of it as well, because what had happened was I had, are you right, Budgie? By the grace of God, there go we. Absolutely. Very true. That's also true as well. Keeping the mind occupied in such a manner is always a good thing. Yeah, I've heard, Tom, that we won't be getting that money this year. I agree with you, Scotsman. I do. Council houses built in the 1850s will probably outlast some of the rabbit hutches they're building today. That's without a doubt. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Stricky, start again. We decorated the house after my nan died. Then again, we had to, as my granddad killed her with his chainsaw. That's a good one. Sorry, Steve, I don't qualify for that. If you're in receipt of pension credits, you'll still entitled to the heating allowances. I don't get that pension credits. Of course, Tom. So we still pay for the bonuses of board directors of these utility companies. Of course. Yeah. Well, I'm not trembling. I don't have pension credit. And one thing about Commies, as you call them, Steve, is they're excellent at finding ways to make working class people poorer. They're experts at it. Yeah, well, I had no heating last winter, and it's no disco. I know, Steve. My water distiller uses the most electricity, says Julia. We still haven't done that yet. Ah, there's Unicorn. The National Grid come back, own all the pipes up to the connector, but the box is a machine that calculates debt, and that is what you're actually buying. Not energy, you're buying debt, and you can opt out. Well, that's typical. That's typical Treble M. Unicorn says it's fraud. I'm not going to argue with him. He's probably right. Stow your own meter. Well, take care. Get some. Take something for your headache. I'll see you on Friday, Anglo. My heart goes out to all those going without sufficient heating. Well, the house I'm in, I've told you before, it's about 130-year-old. As soon as the heating goes off, temperature just plummets. Comes like an ice box. It's really, really cold in here. That's criminal. That's definitely criminal, that. I was fined by the council for burning wood from my garden in my wood burning stove. It's criminal. It's absolutely bloody criminal. $12 years. A gulag, Steve. That's what this country's coming to. A gulag. Now, I never thought of that, Treble M. Treble M is suggesting, John, you may get the winter fuel allowance because of your illness. Ask Citizens Advice Bureau. Well, actually, I've got one better than that because we don't have citizens' advice here, Treble M. But I have contacts uh, to the special agencies that deal with cancer patients. I'll follow that up. Don't you worry, Treble M. But it never occurred to me that that might be applicable. You may well be right. I hope you're right. I'll let you know if that comes to anything. We need people like us, Hasdak. That's what we need. We need people like us in. Five miles. Go to the land that we've bought, Tom. That's what it's for. It's down in Wales. Check with Woody. He'll tell you the details. That right? That seems outrageous, Streaky. That's outrageous. Macmillan Cancer Care, they help people with grants. I certainly will look into it. Don't worry, I won't let that go. I need the heat on. I just do, with or without cancer. Well, that would be terrific, Hashtag. Wish we were all closer. We could all help each other out. That's for sure. YouTube deletes all my comments I leave which mention mass, knowing, none, and compliance, and them. Well, that makes sense from their point of view, hasn't it? Right, let me show you the photographs. These are the photographs that were taken yesterday. So this is the Waverley. Hashtag, they prefer if we were burning, to be honest. So that's her, the Waverley. Couple of shots inside. This is the engine, or part of it. Yeah, it is. It is nice, Tom. Do you go often, John? Says Doc. Believe it or not, Doc, yesterday was the first time that the four of us was on that boat. I've never been on it before. Neither has my Samuel, my son, nor Lorraine, nor my sister Alison. Scandalous, what you think? we live right next to it. It sounds quite remarkable, actually. A steam engine. That's it's quite a wee boat. It's quite a wee paddler. So when you swing the camera around, this is the other side of it. That's the engineer, of course. Very good. What does it carry? It only carries passengers. It was it was built for passengers. It's quite something to see, obviously. This is the lighthouse, Cloch Lighthouse, this is called. Oddly enough, Streaky, I saw for the first time 2 white butterflies last week. But that's the first. Well, 2 is all I could report. And I think that's us. It is indeed. It is indeed. Oh, the rain was awful here yesterday. Tell you that. Absolutely awful. Spiders are coming out. Now, the Clyde is a lovely place, Doc. It really is. That lighthouse that you saw in the last photographs, uh, it's a place down, or used to be a place down there where I would go at night on my motorbike with my guitar, and that's where I wrote the song Promenades. Down there, late at night, bit by bit. They'd spent the next 30 years rewriting it. So there you go, folks. That was what I did yesterday. And we came back up, of course, from Largs via the bus service. I was absolutely done in. Absolutely done in, folks. It does a fair bit of sailing around the area. Well, we have spoken about that before, Doc, about atmosphere. that can help. And it can inspire. But around here where I am, there's loads of brilliant little places if you know the area at all that are ideally suited for writing, for inspiration. Oh God, Budgie, you might well be right there. Being done as the new normal. Oh Jesus. Oh God. I reckon you're right there, John. Atmosphere instead of just being a room. That's it. Couldn't put it any simpler myself, Doc, than that. But that's what it is. Because if you think about it just for a second, you've got your guitar there. And as I said to you before, many a time, you've decided on whatever key you've decided on. You're sitting, you're strumming it, but your eyes are looking round and you're taking all this brilliant scenery and sounds, the natural sounds of the place as you're strumming away. And that can be the catalyst. Thank you, Steve. I always forget, as you know. Thank you. It can be lovely down here, Scotsman. It can, truly. But it can also be miserable when it's raining. It's just bloody awful. It's miserable. And the other thing, of course, is if you're not a drinker, there's nothing to do. There's not as many pubs as there used to be, but that's about it. Well, the midges, ta-da. But yes, when the weather is nice, it is quite beautiful here. No doubt about it. Oh, Treble M. We should swap the weather. Your climate would suit me. I love rain. Oh. When I was a wee boy growing up, I used to dream about being able to live in a country where I didn't need to own a raincoat. That's how much I dislike the rain. That's very therapeutic, Julia. I used to sit on the grass barefooted, playing my guitar. It's called grounding. Yeah, very therapeutic. Brilliant. That's you. It's the words I struggle with, says Duck. The music just comes. I keep having to rework the words. Yeah, we've spoken about that many times, haven't we, Duck? And you're so correct about that. Being able to play an instrument just is the most complete way of unwinding and leaving the world and its woes behind. Yeah, it's a pity you're not a bit closer to hand, Duck. I'm a duck. I've written hundreds of songs, says Julia, but they're always sad and dark. All the best songs are, Julia. I remember Lorraine said this to me once, years ago. She said, how come all your songs are slit your wrist? In other words, make you kill yourself. I said, well, every time I write a sad song, I get happier for a start. And apart from that, happy songs don't last because possibly the one emotion that unites us all is sadness. Every human being experiences sadness. And that's why sad songs is the most successful songs. Streaky. I can give you song titles, Duck, he said. You can do the words if that helps. Oh, I did that. Never tried that hashtag. I'm too scared. Well, you see, Julia, that's it. That's the way it works, I think. We get to share our unhappiness, our sadness, and that sadness is replaced inside with a little bit of, if not happiness, perhaps a little contentment. Streaky. We fell in love at the homeless shelter. I loved her such, she was a belter. Ah, Budgie suggesting let's have a sad song top 100. Sounds like an idea there, Budgie. Ah, 100's too many though, is it not? Aha, sad song. A top 10 sad song. Hiya, Ludwig. Streaky. I said to her, we need a home. She took my wallet and fled to Rome. I think he's making that up as he goes along, you know. There's a whole array of sad songs right there. You can you can really see dirt when you're tripping, says Julia. Great for cleaning. Oh, I tell you. It's something I never thought about doing personally. I was offered often, but as I say, I wouldn't take anything like that because the way I thought about it is if you take acid, it's in your system. Now you've got no control over it. In other words, what I mean is it's not like smoking a dope, a joint. If you smoke a joint and it gets too much for you, you can put the joint out or get rid of it. But if you take LSD or anything of that nature, once it's inside your body, oh, you don't have any way of stopping it, controlling it. Ah, streaky. It's it's a duck trying to get to Woody's field at the end of the month for inspiration to write and sing. I've got earplugs. Ah, I want to be straight. I want to be straight. Well, that's how I feel about it, Streaky. That's why I've never touched it. I told you I did. I think somebody dropped acid into a beer of mine. That was bad enough. I didn't enjoy that experience at all. So there we go. song in my heart and a hole in my pocket. Uh, do you still have those problems, Duck, with the lyrics of the songs? Do you still have that struggle? Good evening, Bess. Yeah, he said, I'm chipping away. I got bits and pieces for 4 songs. Well, if you think I can help, be in touch. Don't be shy. How can you struggle with words, Duck, says Budgie. This is how you do it. As long as I ain't that twat that wrote Imagine, says Streaky. Just learned the chords to Nick Drake's Riverman the other day. What a haunting masterpiece it is, says Ludwig. Can't say I know it, Ludwig. Yeah, I miss that. That's one of the things I miss about the back of the house, not being able to put up the feeders for the birds. I really do miss that. I enjoyed that. I've never even heard of it, to be honest, Ludwig. Just never ever heard it. Or him, or is that her? Oh, it's a him. Nick. Drake's Riverman. Just never heard of it. One of the most beautiful English tunes. Do you mean that in the traditional sense that it's a traditional English tune that's just quite beautiful, or do you mean it in the sense that he has written a song that is a beautiful English tune that has that quality about it? Either way, I don't know it. There's Budgie trying to help you as well. Just get a hook. It came from a folk tradition. You'd have to listen to it, but I guarantee you'd be impressed, says Ludwig. Okay, doke. A lot of great material in the folk tradition, that's for sure. Good evening. Good evening. What's that mean? Good evening, Scott's Armour. Nice to see you here. I got your email today. Thank you for that. We'll get something sorted out. I know we will. The moment we are just discussing music. A streaky can do the work for you, Duck. And you can split everything 50-50. Excellent arrangement. uh, likewise, Scott's Harbour. Likewise, I look forward to it. I've got a question for you, Scott's Harbour. Have you and your family group, have you ever been on the Waverley? So there you go, folks. Now, I know for a fact that Scott's Harbour uh, doesn't live that many miles from where I am. And yet, like so many of us close to the River Clyde, never been on the Waverley. Well, I was just telling the folks, Scots, that I was on the Waverley with my son, my adopted daughter, Lorraine, and my sister, Alison, yesterday. And that was the first time for the four of us, which is quite remarkable when you consider my age. That's what I was asking, just curious. Ah, dear. In all honesty, says Scots, I know some that's been on it, loved it. I've done Loch Lomond cruises, etc. Very enjoyable. We'll need to give it a shot. Well, if you're thinking about doing that, Scots Armour, you'll need to get a move on because the Waverley's got a very, very short season. And I do believe it finishes this month, believe it or not. So it's something you might have to postpone till perhaps next year. Okay, Asdak. You take care, my friend. Okay. Sorry, my life has got somewhat upended over the last few weeks. I'm sorry for being a ghost. I'm sure the other ghosts will take no offence at that. Streaky's leaving us as well. I'll take care, folks. A chipmunk. There's Linda. Good evening, Linda. Harika. Oh, God. There's a warning for you, folks. Harika. Sounds awful. Sounds disgusting, my friend. Disgusting. Brr. Yeah. Well, I think there's a lot of that going around, Eki. People being exhausted through intensity. Linda's making breakfast. Amazing. Eki's asking, have you seen any of the turmoil up where you are? No need for specifics. I'm just curious. Eki, I've seen nothing in this corner of the UK. Uh, from what I can find out, Scots Armour might be able to add to it, but as far as I can find out, uh, Scotland is pretty quiet on that front. That's a bad sign, that, folks. I've noticed in Glasgow, says Scots, this is happening. Traditional chip shops are becoming kebab joints, and I put the word in there, joints, chippies incorporated into it. I don't like it personally. Nor would I, Scots. I don't eat out at any of these joints. That's what I call them, joints. Unlike chippies. That's for sure. Chippies have earned their place here in Scotland and part of our culture. They've earned it. From what I can gather, Eke, well, you're telling me something, Scotsman, I do not know. I have not heard. One good thing, says Tight Scotsman, to come out of this turmoil. Hamas Yusuf is considering his future in the UK. Interesting times, is it not, folks? I meant to say, you know what, says Scott's armour, correcting himself. The message there, Budgie, is avoid the chippies. Linda, our MP, our PM at the AL has given a terrorist warning, apparently. My two sons are the threat. Lockstep reporting on the ABC. I've got a very, very good chippy not far from the house here. It's really quite good. It's been the chippy on that corner for as long as I've been on this plane. And it has been passed down from generation to generation. Well, Scots Armour, that's the same as myself, that experience. People I met from Wales, but I have actually been to Wales once when years ago when I had a motorbike. So if you're ever interested, Scots, and can afford it, I'd like to go and visit the land that's been bought. And perhaps we could do that together. Apparently there's a pub hotel not too far from where it is, which would really suit me. What's this you're saying, Eki? I've been tracking regular people. Some lefties have been slowly flipping to nationalism. Still lefties, but nationalistic lefties. One said they have to go back strange days. Well, whoever it was that said that, Eki, is speaking a truth. I certainly don't know that. Led Zeppelin plays. I don't know anything about that group, to be honest. Berger. But we live in a beautiful land, folks. That's just the truth of the matter. Linda, it's just a further green light for emboldening lawlessness. It makes me sick, says she. Also, the same people who came out against mandates are in the frame again. Were we ever out of it? I skipped that. Oh, as I say, we live in a beautiful, beautiful land. We just, like anywhere else, we just don't make enough of it. Well, I certainly have no idea what that means. Are you leaving us, Scott's Harbour? He must be leaving us. Well, I'll say goodbye then, Scott's Harbour, but I don't see where you said it. Did I miss it somewhere? Okie dokie. I'll hear from you soon. I will get something sorted out, my friend. And I look forward to that. As always, but what I think I will do is shut up shop. So I will see you all at Friday. And we'll take it from there. Thanks for all of you being here. It wouldn't be much of a live stream if you weren't here. That's for sure. So we'll get the music rolling. So enjoy yourselves for the rest of the week, and I'll speak to you on Friday. And thanks again for being here. And as I always like to say, adios, au revoir, cheerio, and until Friday evening, same time, bye for now. Enjoy the music.
Silently the snow falls, paints a winter scene, swiftly spreads the dark rim, hides a fading autumn green. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, conjure friendships dear to me. Lightly now the breeze flows, disturbing more than just the leaves. But life's much more than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow. Patiently the love grows, lifts the weary heart. Gently now she holds me, melts two worlds once apart. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, usher dreams of you and me. Softly then the breeze blows, disturbing more than just the trees. But love's much more than we can know. We are one small glow,
But an important glow
in the eternal flow. Melodies of long ago, songs of innocence, harmonies to soothe the soul, past of consequence. Moonbeams brush the dark wood, awakening joys of you and me. Silently the snow falls, bringing winter symphony.
all together now,
But we're much more
so much more
than we can know.
than we can ever
We are one small glow
on a very important glow.
in the eternal flow. But life's much more than we can know. We are one small glow in the eternal flow.
As Eki says, if we remember to floss, we will win. I'll make a note of that. Riverman.